your office staff is one of the most important things that you're going to do in your practice once you hire your first employee. Making sure that they're trained the way you want them to be so that they can offer the services the way you want to have them do that is crucial to the success of your business. Oftentimes, as business owners, we assume that whoever we've hired either A, already knows what they need to do, or B, doesn't really need the training that we should give them and what they deserve. We assume that because they have a degree, they already know things. They should know the basics. Know how to do a blood pressure, know how to draw blood, know how to answer the phone. But do they know how to answer the phone the way you want them to answer the phone? Major question. Chances are they don't. They know what their previous employer had taught them about answering the phone, but that may not be in line to what you want them to do in answering the phone. You need to set them up for success because that sets your business up for success. Your employees are only as good for you as you invest in them. And they can only provide for you the best if you give them the best and you make them the best. So one of the things that we've learned in the years of practice is all of our employees need to be saying the same thing. It's very frustrating for patients if they call and they get 5 different answers from 5 different people because now they don't know who to trust. And now they only want to talk to the practitioner because everyone else doesn't know what they're doing. So it's important to make sure that your team is trained. They're trained either by you or along with you, or they're using a script that you created and it's consistent every single time. Consistency is so important. You can't have one person answering the phone one way and the next day they answer the phone a different way. Or one patient can get this, but the other patient isn't offered this. Guess what? Patients talk to one another and they're going to tell each other, well, they didn't tell me I had to have that done. Well, why didn't they offer that to me? And guess what? They don't think that somebody made a mistake. They think you don't believe in them as patients, or they think you don't think they deserve the same care. We go down these really bad rabbit holes when things like this happen to us, and all the worst thoughts come up, even though nobody in your office meant to hurt a client. That's what the clients think. So it's really important for you to train your front desk to offer the same thing to every single patient, exactly the same way, every single time, if it's in line with your care. If not every patient needs those services, great. But then you need to have a script that explains what they need and why and how. Because otherwise, there will be a lot of conflict if the patients talk about things. So for instance, if the person comes in for hormone therapy, 2 people exactly the same, what they're offered should be exactly the same. If it's a more complex situation, they may not need that, or somebody may already have done some of those services and may not need that. There are ways around that. I'm not saying that everyone gets the same thing no matter what, but be consistent with things. So your front desk always has a script for answering the phone and dealing with clients. Your back staff, your nursing, your medical assistants, they all have the same scripts. One of the ways that we found was easier for us to train our staff was to create videos for them. Things that we repeat over and over and over again to our clients, we started putting in videos, not just for our clients, but also for our staff. And we have our staff go through that training once a year to refresh themselves. So they know what it is we're saying to clients on a regular basis. They know what our thought process is. They know why we're doing what we're doing. Now, you could also have your support staff shadow you for a while in an exam room to hear some of the things that you're talking about. That's another way to do it. I just found it was easier, less time consuming, I should say, by having the videos created. And that way, if somebody forgets something, they can go back and they can watch that again as many times as necessary for them until they get it, until they understand it. It's so important for training. I will tell you, if there was one mistake I made early on, was assuming that all of the people I hired knew what I knew or thought the way I thought. That's probably a bigger thing. I didn't expect them to know everything I knew, but I expected them to think the way I thought. Brainstorm, problem solve, all of these things. And those things are just not possible. Not everybody thinks like us. We assume they do, but they don't. And so it's so important for you to understand this early on with your clients and train them and provide them with training so they can be successful. Because the reality is, the more training you provide to your staff, the more they can help you, the more they can take off your plate, and ultimately, financially, it brings a lot more money to your practice if your support staff can offer things to your clients when they're talking to them when you're not around. So think about training, think about investing. We have some training videos that we've included here for you to take examples of. You have access to those to use as scripts for yourself or to edit the way you want to, but you also have access to purchasing those videos for training for your own staff as well. So look around. There's a lot of downloadable scripts in this module, and there's some videos there that you can look at as well.